Hi there, welcome back. My name is Dr. Angel Kreitz. I'm an academic mentor and the president of New Covenant University. I'm teaching tonight on leadership, and I welcome you. If as you come on, you can share with me where you're watching from, I would absolutely love that. We try to get back with everyone concerning their messages and things like that. So let me get you the contact information that you need in order to contact New Covenant University. First of all, we have a website called ncu.education. That's www.n as in new, c as in covenant, u as in university, ncu.education, spelled all the way out. We would love for you to take a look at that website and decide if this university is a place for you. We teach Christian leadership primarily, but we also have courses and degrees in Christian counseling, education, and theology. The very best way to reach me personally is by simply WhatsApping me or texting me on the phone number 615-948-2212. That's 615-948-2212. Now, tonight we're talking about my favorite subject, my favorite topic in all this world is Christian leadership. I absolutely love the church. I love the kingdom. I thank God every day. I do not have one of those testimonies where I was running away from God's call. I'm one of those people that I was asking him, please call me. Please let me be a part of increasing kingdom for you. Let me be a representative of the cause of Christ. And he has placed me in some pretty amazing places with some pretty amazing people. And one of those places is NCU with my beautiful students. I have many of them here on Zoom tonight, and I'm so grateful for them. And we're talking about Christian leadership tonight. And so I just want to get started. Now, if you're interested in this book, our students get them for free. They are our student notebooks. If you're interested in this book, these go for an offering of $10. Now, I wish I could just give them away, but postage has increased by like 200%. So I'm going to need an offering of $10 to send you these notes. And if you want a soft copy, $5 is fine for the administrative fees of sending those out to you. So if you would like to have a copy of the notes, then we just would ask that you will send an offering through our website, which is, again, ncu.education/donate. And Zeffy's the very best way to give. I want to welcome Rashawn Rigby. I've already addressed the rest of my students, but thank you, Mr. Rashawn, for joining. I really appreciate that. And we are good to go. If you will open your notes to the first chapter, we're going to be talking about an intro to Christian leadership. Now, some of you who took the courses last year got this, but for the newbies, this is a brand new teaching. How many times of my returning students, how many times do I have to repeat something for you to remember, for it to kind of get inside you? Does anyone remember that information? Go ahead, Lynn.
Sorry, I was just holding up 3 fingers.
Three, okay. 3 is a good guesstimate. That's a great guesstimate. But I have to say something how many times, Hannah?
7.
7 times. I have to say something 7 times for it even to start to get inside you. And so I'm going to repeat a lot of the same things over and over again, just so that you can hear and it can get inside you and you can start to live in that kind of culture. So for the ones who are returning, this is time number 2. You're welcome. All right. Intro to Leadership, Chapter 1. There are many ships that can move you through life. Friendships, companionships, memberships, stewardships, and championships. However, there is only one chip that will help you reach your destiny and your full potential, and that is God-empowered leadership. God-empowered leadership. Leaders are very important in kingdom. Let's talk about the first principle of leadership. Number one, faith. Faith is how far you trust God. Faith is how far you trust, that first blank being trust God. How far do you trust God? As a Christian leader, it is your responsibility to inspire faith in others and to reveal the nature of God. Can you reveal the full nature of God? No. And you also can't inspire a faith any deeper than people are willing to go. But it's certainly your job to try. I was recently talking to a friend, and in fact, I made it into my Facebook post. If you haven't seen my personal Facebook, I'm Angel Leanne Kreitz. You can follow me there. I was inspired about how sometimes we give up on God prematurely because things get really hard and really difficult. I remember going over and over again to a different doctor almost every week for the same friend. And every doctor gave us the same prognosis. Well, why are you even bothering? There's no point in this. Just let them go peacefully. But the person, my friend, did not want that. They wanted to do the very best that they could because it really was a miracle that they progressed as far as they did in their disease and still remains on the earth. And so we were going to try one last doctor in St. Vincent's medical group. It's a big deal in Florida. Hannah, do you know about the St. Vincent's medical group in Florida? Like they have ProMedica.
No, I don't.
Oh, no. Okay. Well, they have ProMedica, they have Baptist, and then there's St. Vincent's, and it's old as the hills. But they're doctors with a Christian worldview. And so, so the doctor looked at me and he said something remarkably different from every other doctor. And he said, well, if God still has him here, we're going to work with God. If God hasn't given up yet, we certainly aren't going to. Okay, thank you. And so what we want to do is do the same thing. Not give up on people, not give up on situations until we're sure God is finished working in that arena. We want to make room for a miracle, and that was the synopsis of my post today. But I wanted to inspire people to a deeper faith with that post. And so we know as Christian ministers that we don't give up until the fat lady sings. Someone could be laying in a hospital bed and their family could be crying, and we keep praying, we keep holding out faith until God makes his decision. That's just how it is. We aren't realists, we're kingdom minded. Remember that. We have a lot of faith. We don't give people false hope, of course, but we do say no matter what, we're going to believe God. We're going to believe God, and we're going to stand on the word of God. And so I want you to be inspired to do that. Faith is how far you trust God. It is impossible to operate in faith and fear at the same time. It is impossible to operate in faith and fear at the same time. Can't do it. You can't walk in fear of something and also in faith with something. They're directly opposed to one another. I speak to people all the time who have fear about tomorrow, concerning the political climate of the whole world, not just the United States, but the political climate of the whole world. is getting to a place where it's causing a lot of anxiety in people. And I said, you know, we have faith that we have kings and we have rulers here on the planet, but we serve a big God. We serve a mighty king, and he has promised to take care of us. And so we are going to keep the faith. We're not going to walk in fear. We're going to thrive. We're going to live. We're going to give hope. We're going to find pockets of happy. We're going to find joy. We walk in faith. See, faith comes by hearing. Faith comes by hearing. What are you listening to? Romans 10:17 says, faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. What are you listening to? I'm a big person who believes in balance in all things. I don't think it's against the will of God to watch the news. I don't think it's against the will of God to watch a movie. I'm a big fan of 70s music. I love 70s music. Casey and the Sunshine Band, Queen, Elton John. I even like some of the 60s with the Turtles and the Beatles and all the other olds. I know very little about 80s music, but what I'm telling you is whatever you hear, that can expand or decrease your faith. What are you listening to mostly? What are you listening to mostly? Because what you hear determines what you believe. What you hear determines what you believe. That's why it's important to fact check. You know, I don't know about the UK, and I don't know about the Bahamas, but over here in the US, all of the news stations get one story and they all use the same verbiage to describe the same scenario. And usually it's not hugely accurate. And so you have to be careful. You have to fact check, because what you consistently hear, you start to believe. Watch your friends. Watch people that you hang out with. Are they encouraging you like the Bible says we should be doing? Or are they discouraging you in the name of realism, being devil's advocate? Are you listening to people who are building you up? Remember, it's okay to be corrected. It's a great thing to be corrected, but the only people who should be correcting you are those who are invested in you. All the rest should be increasing you. Don't listen to a critic or a fool. How about you? Is the enemy able to use your mouth as an accuser? I know I see a lot of ministers, a lot of leaders get real quiet on me. But a lot of times we use our pulpit to choose to talk about sin. I don't necessarily agree. And I want to be careful how I word this, because I think it's important to know where we miss the mark and God's very best for us in the way we should be living. But at the same time, we're supposed to be preaching good news of the gospel primarily. Don't get in the pulpit with all your feels and start criticizing things you know. Can you watch on the Facebook NCU page? Oh, okay. Yes, I hope that Maribel can watch. Oh, Maribel is on. Welcome. Welcome, Miss Maribel. I'm so glad you're here.
Miss Maribel, I think, said she's been trying to get on since 6:40. I'm not sure who Darren's iPhone is, whether that's her. So I messaged her saying, could she watch on Facebook? Dr.
Excellent.
Angel, in case.
Excellent. Thank you. Y'all like my little chill out mug? Isn't that cute? Oh, y'all can't see it. Hold on. That's the bad thing about backgrounds. You're in TKU. Okay, I understand. Now remember, we're going to have special guests pop on Zoom and less people on the Facebook Live because I've opened up the Zoom to public. So just know that we have a lot of people coming on. Thank you so much, Darren, for joining us tonight. Let's look at number 2, focus. Focus. We're talking about leadership. Intro to leadership, some characteristics we have to think about, we have to develop within our roles as Christian leaders. Focus is number 2. What you look at the longest being the first word, what you look at the longest becomes the strongest. What you look at the longest becomes the strongest. When I moved into my home is 120 years old. I love it. God has blessed me. I live on a historical street where there's an incredible amount of walkability, and I'm staring right now. It's dark now, but if it were light, I would be staring at the mansion of Rutherford B. Hayes, who was a former president of the United States of America, which is kind of cool. Like, who knew I'd be living here? But I notice when I lay in bed at night and I'm looking at my ceiling, and this home has had 120 years of settling and it's got all original plaster, I'm seeing cracks. Cracks in my ceiling. Now, me being an overthinker, I got a handyman in here and I said, "What is this?" And he said, "Oh, those were probably there before. They look sturdy still. You're fine. Give it another 6 months to a year before you go to..." I said, "What? My ceiling's cracking." He said, "You've just been looking at it a long time now." I was looking at my ceiling. And all of a sudden, the cracks became really big to me in my mind and worrisome. I had to call a pal. What you look at the longest becomes the strongest. That goes for situations in your life. Are you looking at the negative things or are you looking at the positive things? B, never put in front of you what you don't want in you. Never put in front of you what you don't want in you. Now, I know people who have scrolled TikTok for hours. It's called doom scrolling. When they have a day off or whatever, they just want to relax. They want to stay in bed. They don't necessarily want to watch TV because nothing good is on TV anymore. They like to watch TikTok. And when they watch TikTok, they will come across these relationship videos. How many of you know what I'm talking about? These relationship videos that speak to the perfect ideal. Can I remind you that there is no perfect relationship, but when you watch the ideal videos, your man should be every day buying you flowers and, kissing your feet and making your meals, and your girl every day should be adoring you and just telling you what a wonderful human being you are. Such impractical advice, right? All right, so you're watching this and your brain is going, "Oh, this is good, this is good, this is good." But what does it do? It dissatisfies you. It makes you dissatisfied with the reality of your relationship, and it takes away your grace. Don't put in front of you what you don't want in you. This is the very best thing. Whoop. It's a Bible. I should hold up a black leather one, shouldn't I, Lynn? Because Miss Lynn always says that my Bible doesn't look like a Bible. There you go. She has a real Bible. Rock on. I love it. Oh, my goodness. Thank you, Delina Anita, for watching. It's very good to see you. Bev Lomax, thank you for watching tonight. Anything that keeps your...
Sorry, Dr. Angel. Bev is watching?
On Facebook Live. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Bev. She's a really good friend of mine.
Oh, that's wonderful. I'm so honored.
Miss Connie, I saw the way you looked at Pastor Morlock when Dr. Angel was telling you about the ideal husband. I saw your face.
Oh my goodness. We have fun here on this class. We do. All right. Anything that keeps your attention becomes your master. Anything that keeps your attention becomes your master. It is very important that you maintain balance in your life. Bev says, hello, Miss Lynn. It is very important that you maintain balance in your life. There are certain times of my life that I realized I was focused on too many other things and not focused enough on my purpose. And what happened? I lost momentum when I was doing that. D, your focus will determine three things. Excuse me. Your focus will determine three things. One, your friendships. Friendships. For those of you just popping on Facebook, we have student notes. So if I get slow during some of the things, that's so my students can fill out their blanks. Friendships. Your focus determines your friendships, because what you focus on, other people will either connect to or they will disconnect with really fast. 2, it will determine your finances. Are you focused on productivity? Are you focused on something that you can monetize? Or are you focused on video games? Are you focused on indulgence, shopping instead of being a retailer? What are you focused on? And I'm not saying that is bad all the time. Sometimes I need to increase other areas in my life other than finances, so I need a vacation. But it's important to maintain a focus of increase. And your focus will determine, the last blank is your future. Your future. Are you focused on negative? Or are you focused on positive? Your future is determined by what you're focused on. Number 3, knowledge. Knowledge. As a leader, knowledge is very important. A, your level of learning will determine your level of living. That's why as leaders, we never stop learning. We are always seeking knowledge. B, the only difference between people is what they know. The only difference between people is what they know. Good for you, Ms. Tanya. People say there are no differences in people. Yes, there are definite differences in people, and the difference is what they know. No one should be disrespected for not knowing the same things that you know. In fact, they should be valued for knowing different things than you do. Never underestimate anyone. My life is so much due to change for positive. Excellent. That's right. See, the most important thing you need to know is what to do next. That seems oversimplistic, doesn't it? But how many of you have seen other people stuck with, I don't know what to do? We're going to try to change that. That's the most important thing you could know, is what to do next. Can you imagine if you all of a sudden just knew exactly what to do next in all things? Would that be amazing? D, remember there is always something you don't know. Why is it important to know that there is something you don't know? Why is that important? I'll tell you why. Because if you don't have the knowledge that you don't know something, you will not ask questions. You must be willing to ask questions. Seek knowledge. You might even think, I don't need a mentor. Which is a very dangerous place to be, because there's two ways to learn. What are they?
Mistakes and mentors.
You got it. You got it. Extra credit for Hannah.
Yeah, get the M&Ms out.
That's right. If I were in person, I'd throw an M&M at you. 4, people. Let's talk about people. A person in your life, and we touched on this earlier, a person in your life who does not increase you, the word for the blank is increase you, will inevitably decrease you. That's right, Bev. Life would be boring if we knew everything. A person in your life who does not increase you will inevitably decrease you. There are no neutral people in your life. There are none. They either increase you or they decrease you. Now you may say, well, I don't see how this person increases you. I had a friend of mine who just recently gave me the advice to write down everyone I was in relationship with and to list the pros and the cons. And I found that on a lot of people, there were many pros, but they didn't like physically increase me. They increased me in other ways, in my spiritual walk, in my joy, in my encouragement. They gave me memories, happy memories. No, people are there to either increase you or decrease you. Now, I do not believe in burning bridges. I don't. I believe that there are seasonal people, and I do not believe in burning bridges. So what do? I like to untie people from the dock. Just kind of untie them. Let them float. Because you never know when someone might come back to you. Especially as a leader in the church. People ebb and flow all the time in and out of church. The only difference, B, you must assign a purpose to the people in your life. You must assign a purpose to the people in your life. Are they your acquaintance? Are they there to solve a problem for you? Acquaintances like contractors, acquaintances like coworkers, acquaintances like the person who, your barista. You have a lot of acquaintances, people you might go to church with who are your acquaintances that you'll work with in order to volunteer for something, a project or whatever. Those are your acquaintances. You have to assign a purpose. Are they your friends? Are they someone that you connect with on a different level than your acquaintances? They've established more of a trust with you, and so you can connect with them. Or are they your confidant? Are they like your husband or your wife? Are they your biological family? Or maybe not your biological family, but do you consider them family because of the level of trust that they've established? Your closeness? Can you be vulnerable with them? There's a difference between being authentic, transparent, and vulnerable. And you can only be vulnerable with 2 or 3 people in your world. Don't be vulnerable with everyone. You'll get hurt that way. You can be transparent with your friends, and you can be authentic with your acquaintances. But only be vulnerable with those that are your inner circle, your confidants, the ones who are the closest to you. Even Jesus only had 3. C, we always pursue the relationship. We always pursue the relationship that holds the greatest reward. Now, I've just sounded like I've described an opportunistic kind of personality, but that is not what that means. At a point in my life, the relationship with the greatest reward for me was a protege who kept pulling on me to minister to them. Because at that time in my life, I almost gave up. I thought, oh, I won't have a ministry after this. But that person kept pulling on me. And that was a very great reward because that helped me to understand where I was and what my next steps were. So always be looking for that relationship that holds the greatest reward. D, you may not like or understand people, but your future is connected to people. Your future is connected to people. Hi, Chris Warden. Thank you for watching me tonight. I really appreciate you. Your future, me personally, I don't understand Christian leaders who say, well, I don't like people. I can understand being tired by being around people. I can understand people being annoying because whatever is annoying to you is attracted to you because it shows the problem that you solve. That's in our purpose teaching. But I can't understand not liking people because God made us to be in relationship with one another. That's how we do everything, in relationship. We can't even breathe outside of relationship with our Creator. It's all about relationship. Number 5, as a leader, you need to be thinking about being a problem solver. A problem solver. Your rewards in life are determined by the kinds of problems you are willing to solve. Your rewards in life are determined by the kinds of problems you are willing to solve. A brain surgeon and someone who picks up your trash every day, just as valuable, because I don't know where I would be if I had to take my own trash to the dumpster. Get paid different amounts of money. One is a far more complex problem to solve than the other. But I promise at the end of the day, both of those people are just as exhausted as the other. Someone once told me that the reward you get is comparable to the hard work you do. So in other words, you should get paid based on how hard you work. It's hard. I tried to dig a hole in my backyard one time to bury a bird. It is hard to dig ditches. And they do not get paid well enough if we were rating how much to pay them based on digging ditches. That's exhausting. The landscaper, the roofer. No, your reward is determined by the kinds of problems you solve. Everything in life, this is B, everything in life is created to solve a problem. It's the purpose of money. Money solves problems. That's why we have it. It's a tool. If I were to take a $100 bill out and show it to you and lay it on the table, if you did not know the value of that $100 bill, it's a worthless piece of paper. But if you look at it as a tool, to solve a problem, then you understand its value. C, you will be remembered for two things in life. You will be remembered for two things. One, the problems you solve. Y'all getting ready to smack your head. Two, the problems you create. Don't look at me like that. You all cause problems. Hi, Miss Fran. It's so good to see you. Thank you for watching me tonight. Miss Fran is my newest protege. She is an amazing woman of God. I'm so proud of her.
Dr. Angel, is that the Miss Fran that I know?
Yes, she does attend.
Say a big hello from me, please.
Miss Lynn says hello, Miss Fran. Six, let's talk about time. Let's talk about time. A, use your time for increase instead of excuses. Use your time for increase instead of excuses. Pastor Tim Kellogg, yes, you, yes, everybody. Everyone causes problems. I've caused a few in my lifetime. Good to see you here. Thank you for joining. Miss Fran says, hello, Miss Lynn. B, if you don't assign a purpose to your time, someone else will. An example of that is, okay, someone calls you up. They ask the question, hey, what are you doing? And you give the most stupid answer you could ever give in your lifetime. That's right, Miss Tanya. Nothing. I'm not doing nothing. You know good and well you're doing something. You know good and well you're juggling the plate of cooking dinner, making a grocery shopping list. You got a kid on your leg. You know good and well you're doing something. But for some reason, we all answer the same. We aren't doing nothing. You know what's going to happen with that person on the other side of the phone? They're going to make sure you have something to do. You know it's true. Stop doing that. What you want to do is you want to be honest, authentic. Authenticity is the currency for influence. Authentic, be authentic. Well, I'm sitting, even if you're not doing anything productive, I'm sitting here snuggling up in a blanket on this first cold day in Fremont, Ohio, petting my cat and enjoying my time relaxing. What's going on? And they will tell you. And then you have the option. You could say, oh, well, I'm sorry, I can't help you. I'm too busy having me time. Or you can say, oh, well, I'm pretty flexible right now. I can help you. And never leave your call open-ended. Hey, I have about, did I call at a good time? Yes, you called at a great time. I have about a half an hour before my next thing. Go. See, your respect of time is a prediction of your financial future. Your respect of time is a prediction of your financial future. I want to encourage you to respect time enough to plan absolutely everything. And I don't mean don't plan that you should be spontaneous. I just think that you should plan that. How do you do that, Dr. Angel? Well, I'll tell you how. You get all your work done Monday through Friday. And on Friday, you stop. And on Saturday, you may decide, hey, I'm going to plan fun. I'm going to plan to go to the flea market. I'm going to plan to go to the farmer's market downtown, because that's pretty much your two options in Fremont, Ohio, the flea market or the farmer's market. Or if it's a nice warm day, you might say, I might go to the lake. Or if you're like me and you love roller coasters, you might say, I'm going to go to Cedar Point. And then now you have 4 options, right? And then, so on Friday afternoon, you might say, I want to be spontaneous. I want to wake up in the morning and decide what to do. So I'm just going to leave my day open and do one of those 4 things. Or I might watch Breaking Bad again, all over. I don't know. Listen, don't judge me. You know that Walt is fun to watch. He's hilarious. Christina Rodriguez, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're feeling better, lady. When you respect your time, when you don't just waste it. That's right, football. I love football. When you don't just waste it, when you're productive with it, when you plan, not only will you prosper financially, you'll also prosper in your relationships, you'll prosper in your mental health, you'll prosper spiritually. Every single part of you will prosper if you respect time enough to assign something to your time. D, the greatest distinction between people is how they use their time. How do you use your time? I think we just addressed that in my last point. It's important to use your time wisely. When I first became a widow, I realized that I was a big doom scroller. I picked my phone up and I just watched TikTok after TikTok, Facebook after Facebook, YouTube after YouTube. It was all Christian. But I got lost in that. A lot of people grieving do things like that. I had to make a change. I had to change that habit. Now I use my time to do what I really love, is develop teaching and to invest in NCU and teach Christian leaders. E, where you invest your time, reveals what you love. I just said it. Where you invest your time reveals what you love. Christina, you know Christina, right, Miss Lynn? She's yes, good. Thumbs up me. She says, I love Breaking Bad too. Good to know.
Well, you know who else loves it, don't you, Dr. Angel?
Who's that? Who's it? Remind me.
Oh, come on.
Oh, is it your daughter or is it you?
There you go.
Ah, I knew it.
There you go.
Oh my goodness. We have so much fun in this class. And our last point on this teaching is wisdoms. Number 7 is wisdom. Look at someone in your household right now and say, I've been concerned about your lack of wisdom for quite some time. I'm seeing a lot of people talking. That's so great. Wisdom is so important in a leader's life. The principles of God properly applied to solve problems. That's what wisdom is. Wisdom is the principles of God properly applied to solve problems. It is also the ability to discern who to honor. Wisdom is found in the Word of God. The Bible doesn't say you can learn wisdom. It's an impartation. Wisdom is an impartation. That's why the tagline of our school says, New Covenant University, it's more than an education, it's an impartation. Why? Because we believe in, number one, reading the book. We read the Bible. We discern the scriptures. The Bible says in Proverbs that if you want wisdom, you have to ask for it. What? Knowledge you can obtain by studying. Understanding comes from who you're standing under. It's a mentorship. But wisdom comes from God. And it has to be prayed for. Have to ask God. I didn't make that up. That's real. If you keep doing what you've been doing, you will keep getting what you've been getting. If you keep doing what you've been doing, you're going to keep getting what you've been getting. Are you satisfied with your life right now? You might be. You might be really happy. You might be in that season. And we're going to talk about the 12 seasons in our teachings later. I think 2 weeks from now. But a lot of people are dissatisfied with every single area of their life. That means you need to change. That means a little change up is required. Mr. Todd puts it like this: if you want something different, you have to do something different. Love that, Mr. Todd. That's awesome. Love it. Now, in your notes, you will see that there is something called Leadership and Honor, Chapter 2. We're going to skip all those pages because that's next week's teaching. So when we come back from our break, we're going to do Chapter 3.
What break?
Hey there, I want to thank you so much for watching me here on NCU. We're going to take a little break and then I'll be right back with you with our next teaching called What Every Leader Needs to Know. So if you want to watch, just pop back on when you see the notification or stay on the page and you'll see me pop up live again. Thank you so much and we'll talk to you soon.